What if the Bible's account of creation is only the beginning of a much larger story? Before Adam walked the earth, before Eden bloomed, before God declared, "Let there be light," a hidden chapter was unfolding, a chapter buried in ancient texts, whispered in forbidden scrolls, and guarded by celestial secrets. This is the story of the Watchers, powerful heavenly beings who ruled the earth long before humanity's first breath. Their actions didn't just shape the world, they broke it. If you're ready to uncover truths hidden for millennia, hit that like button, subscribe with notifications on, and join us as we reveal the forgotten past. Let's dive into the mystery together. The Bible opens with the creation of the world, but it doesn't tell the whole story. In Jeremiah 4 verses 23 to 26, the prophet describes a vision of an earth that is desolate, dark, and without form, eerily similar to Genesis 1 verse 2. Yet, Jeremiah's account adds a chilling detail. Cities, people, and birds had already existed and fled. This hints at a world before our known creation, a world not ruled by humans but by celestial beings known as the Watchers. These were not mere angels, nor demons, but a class of heavenly beings endowed with authority, wisdom, and a presence on earth long before Adam drew his first breath. According to the Book of Enoch, they had names, missions, and significant influence over the earth. Sent to oversee creation, governing spiritual and physical realms under divine order, they crossed a forbidden line. They interfered, revealing knowledge meant to remain in heaven, turning their sanctioned presence into a threat to God's divine plan. Their story was deliberately erased from Genesis, buried in the shadows of Scripture. Yet fragments survived in apocryphal texts, ancient oral traditions, and forgotten scrolls. The Watchers were beings of light, wisdom, and immense power, but also of pride and disobedience. They ruled, taught, and altered the earth before Adam's time. When Adam opened his eyes in Eden, he didn't step into a pristine creation, but a world already scarred by celestial rebels. The Book of Enoch details their descent from heavenly realms to take dominion over the earth. Initially guardians tasked with watching over humanity and the natural order, they were not evil. But, captivated by the earth's beauty and tempted by its possibilities, they transgressed divine boundaries. They didn't just observe, they acted, sharing forbidden knowledge with early humanity. Secrets of the heavens, metalwork, enchantments, astrology, and sorcery. These gifts, never meant for mankind, unleashed chaos, spiraling the world into wickedness. The serpent in Eden wasn't the only catalyst for the fall. A darker force had already set the stage. Ancient texts suggest the earth wasn't truly formless and void before Adam. Hints of structures, civilizations, and beings under divine order point to a pre-Adamic world ruled by the Watchers, a first creation that ended in judgment. Adam inherited not a perfect world, but a battlefield tainted by rebellion. Eden wasn't the beginning, it was a restart. Why would God allow such beings to rule? Divine governance holds the answer. Just as God permits human kings to rule nations, he once entrusted celestial beings with earthly realms. The Watchers were given stewardship, not permission to corrupt. Their fall was gradual, born of fascination, desire, and rebellion. They saw the earth as an opportunity, not a responsibility, planting seeds of destruction before Adam's disobedience. Beyond the biblical canon, Mesopotamian and early Semitic writings describe radiant, terrifying, and wise divine beings who ruled before mankind, commanding nature and judging from celestial thrones. These may be fragmented memories of the Watchers, echoes of a time when angels held dominion. Their rebellion distorted creation itself, collapsing their rule and plunging the earth into darkness. When light returned, humanity stepped onto the stage. The fall of the Watchers led to their erasure from holy records. Their names were struck out, their deeds silenced. Only in texts like Enoch, Jubilees, and the Dead Sea Scrolls do traces remain, excluded from most biblical canons for revealing too much, challenging Genesis simplicity. Adam wasn't the first ruler, he entered a scarred world. The soil bore rebellion, the skies echoed forbidden chants, and the serpent was not the only remnant of the past. The Watchers left echoes, ideas, energies, perhaps bloodlines, that haunted humanity for generations. On Mount Hermon, Rich in biblical symbolism, they made a pact to abandon their divine posts and engage with the physical world, producing the Nephilim with human women. These giants, physically and spiritually corrupt, symbolized heaven's power misused. This second fall, more devastating than Eden's, brought spiritual contamination, polluting the earth with unnatural knowledge and hybrids. Some rabbis argue this defilement necessitated the Great Flood, a reset to cleanse a deeper infection. Not everything was erased. The Watchers' teachings, bloodlines, and traditions lingered in ancient cultures. Ideas of stars, sacred geometry, enchantments, and rituals. In some civilizations, they were worshipped as gods. Their influence reflected in Old Testament idols and strange fire. Though condemned, their legacy persisted, changing form. Could they return? Revelation speaks of spirits bound in the abyss, awaiting judgment. Some believe these are the Watchers, their influence lingering through deception and counterfeit light. Jesus warned of false wisdom and a coming great deception, suggesting their goal might be to reclaim what they lost through subtle imitation, not war. Scholars avoid these topics, fearing their implications. If celestial beings ruled before Adam, Genesis becomes a restoration, not a beginning. Adam wasn't the first man but the first redeemed, given a second chance to rule a corrupted world. This reframes humanity's story as inheriting a war already in motion. Ancient civilizations' knowledge of the stars, tales of gods descending, and hybrid offspring echo the Watchers. Not myths, but distorted memories. Even Eve's story carries their shadow. Apocryphal texts suggest she wasn't the first female being, and entities sought to influence her, planting rebellion beyond a fruit. Eden was sealed not just to keep humanity out, but perhaps to prevent something else from returning. The serpent echoed the Watchers' defiance, offering enlightenment cloaked in distortion. Their danger lay in wisdom, sharing power meant for the heavens, turning the sacred profane. Adam and Eve's fall continued a tragedy underway, stepping into a spiritually dangerous world. The Watchers' influence persisted in Babylon, Egypt, and Rome. Their goal may have been to create a humanity God never intended. The Nephilim challenged God's image in man, attempting to rewrite creation. The flood was a cosmic reset, cleansing human sin and deeper defilement. Yet, echoes remained in legends of divine kings and giants, with temptations of forbidden knowledge persisting. In the Book of Daniel, Watchers appear again, observing from heaven. Are they the same, restored, or a different class? The Bible provokes questions without full answers, perhaps intentionally. Today, rediscovered texts reveal a darker, older story. Humanity was never meant to walk blindly. We're part of a cosmic conflict predating Eden. New paragraph 1. The Watchers' role in shaping ancient religions. The Watchers' influence didn't vanish with the flood. It became the cornerstone of ancient religious systems. From the Sumerian Anunnaki to the Greek Titans and the Vedic Devas, cultures worldwide recount tales of divine beings descending to teach humanity, often bringing enlightenment at a great cost. These stories share a haunting similarity. Celestial figures imparting forbidden knowledge, facing divine judgment, and leaving a fractured legacy. The Watchers' teachings are evident in the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, the precise star charts of Egypt, and the mystical rituals of ancient India. These were not mere myths but distorted reflections of a time when celestial rulers shaped human belief, blending divine truths with rebellious distortions that led humanity to worship created beings rather than the Creator. New paragraph 2. The Watchers' manipulation of pre-Adamic creation. Before Adam, the Watchers' dominion may have extended beyond governance to manipulating the very fabric of creation. The Book of Enoch hints that they altered the pre-Adamic world, experimenting with Earth's resources and possibly crafting structures or life forms that defied God's original design. Some ancient traditions suggest they shaped landscapes, harnessed natural forces, or even influenced early forms of life, creating a world that reflected their ambition rather than divine intent. This tampering, born of pride, disrupted the harmony God intended, setting the stage for the chaos that would greet Adam. The desolation described in Jeremiah's vision may reflect the aftermath of their failed experiments, a creation undone by celestial overreach. New paragraph 3. The Watchers' legacy in modern ideologies. In today's world, the Watcher's legacy hides in plain sight, cloaked in the guise of progress. Our obsession with mastering nature, through artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and transhumanism, echoes the same temptation they offered, to transcend divine boundaries and become godlike. The pursuit of knowledge without humility mirrors their rebellion, promising enlightenment while divorcing it from righteousness. From visions of merging man with machine to the glorification of self through technology, we see the same prideful desire to reshape creation in humanity's image. The Watcher's whispers persist, not in ancient temples but in laboratories, boardrooms, and ideologies, urging us to chase power without purpose, just as they did before Adam. New paragraph 4. The spiritual warfare of the Watcher's influence. The Watcher's rebellion wasn't just a historical event. It ignited a spiritual war that continues today. Their influence introduced a cosmic tension between obedience to God and the allure of forbidden knowledge. This conflict plays out in every generation, as humanity grapples with the same temptations they sowed. The desire for control, wisdom, and divinity without submission to the Creator. The Nephilim, their offspring, were not just physical giants but symbols of spiritual corruption, embodying the consequences of crossing divine boundaries. Today, this warfare manifests in ideologies that elevate human ambition over divine will, challenging us to discern truth from deception in a world still shaped by their ancient defiance. New paragraph 5. Humanity's role in God's redemptive plan. The Watcher's story underscores humanity's unique role in God's cosmic plan. Unlike these celestial beings, who fell through pride, humans were created with the capacity for redemption. Adam's fall was not the end but a pivot toward restoration. The Watchers sought to redefine creation, but God chose humanity to carry His image and reclaim what was corrupted. Through Christ, the second Adam, God offered a path to restore not just mankind but the cosmic order disrupted by the Watchers. As heirs of this promise, we are called to wield knowledge with humility, discern truth from deception, and stand firm in a spiritual war that began before time. The Watcher's failure highlights our responsibility to align with God's eternal purpose. Modern society mirrors the Watcher's influence. Transhumanism, AI, and genetic manipulation echo their goal to reshape humanity. Jesus' warning of the days of Noah, returning points to a world crossing divine boundaries. The Watcher's legacy persists in ideas glorifying knowledge and power without obedience. Yet their rule was temporary, their rebellion judged. True revelation comes through surrender, not ambition. The flood cleansed the past. The cross restored the future. The Watchers brought knowledge, but God brought wisdom. They offered control, but He offered love. Their empire will fall before His kingdom. We inherit a curse, a broken world shaped by ancient voices, but also a promise of redemption from a God who never abandoned His creation. The Watchers' history was hidden to protect us, but with truth comes responsibility. Their knowledge was powerful but purposeless, dangerous without holiness. We face the same dilemma, advancing faster than we humble ourselves, knowing more but understanding less. The Watchers' influence shaped empires and ideas, from Babylon to Rome. Every generation after Adam entered a spiritual battlefield, surrounded by their legacy. Understanding their story decodes the present. We aren't starting from zero. Adam stood in Eden amidst shadows of a failed order. The more we uncover, the more responsible we become. Scripture's final pages promise a new heaven and earth, restoring cosmic order. What the Watchers tried to hijack, God will reclaim. Their deception must be exposed, their erased history remembered. They were real, their actions devastating, their legacy shaping today's spiritual war. God allowed their rebellion to demonstrate justice, mercy, and truth. Adam was given a garden, prophets received visions, and Christ came to restore creation itself. The Watchers ruled for a moment, but God's plan spans eternity. The earth wasn't empty before Adam. It was ruled, shaped, and corrupted by the Watchers. Their forbidden history has been uncovered, and it changes everything. Are you ready to see the world as part of a cosmic story far older than yourself? If this truth has ignited your curiosity, don't let it fade. Like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to join us as we uncover more hidden revelations. In the comments, tell us, what shocked you most about the Watchers, and where in the world are you watching from? Your voice strengthens our community of truth seekers. Let's continue this journey together, exposing the past to prepare for what's coming next.